What's going on, everyone? We are finally back. After the weekend break. We'll be checking out Horrifying Titan X Reveal Monarch Legacy of Marshals Season 2 Trailer 2 Breakdown by dangervill. I see he's at 608. Not 600. Yeah, 618,000 subscribers. Y'all getting a million. Getting to a million. And we're almost to 1,000. 991. He's gonna make me cry. Hey. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. We'll be checking this out. So let's go ahead and get into this. There will be ads. And I don't have YouTube from you.
What's revealed in this new trailer is actually insane. Welcome home, residents. It's your mate Alistair back once again with some huge news for you. The second trailer for Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2 has just dropped, and it gives us new looks at Kong, Godzilla, Lee Shaw, and a terrifying new Titan that might even have something in common with Space Godzilla, who's been rumored to be coming back for Godzilla x Kong Supernova. We already did our reaction, so if you want to check that out, then the video's on the channel. Go watch it after you finish this breakdown. So let's not waste any more time, let's break down that trailer. But as always, subscribe and stomp the notification button. I don't know why.
Actually, y'all go subscribe right now. Only 68% of y'all not subscribed. Y'all go subscribe to dangervill right now.
68% if you haven't. There's tons of Godzilla stuff coming, so do it, or else you'll miss out.
And there's gonna be more reactions to it as well.
The trailer starts out with Lee Shaw, played by the legendary Kurt Russell, waking up in the forest of the Axis Mundi. If you don't remember what this place is, it's the realm between worlds, essentially like a pit stop between the surface and the hollow earth, where time is warped and more time you spend within is significantly longer on the surface world. So time is of the essence. The rest of the leads traveled back to the surface through the portal, unfortunately leaving Kurt behind. So this is likely him waking up following the events of Season 1. We can also see more of the Axis Mundi and just how many portals there actually are, though they can only be activated with a monster's presence, which will become...
Yeah, which is pretty interesting. I ain't gonna cap it. When I noticed, I was like, those are portals. So yeah.
Relevant later. We can also see many of these little bug-like creatures that don't appear to be any threat to Lee. Perhaps they'll help guide him to a hollow earth portal. Next up we get a gorgeous shot of Skull Island, a site we haven't seen for way too many years. And in the background we see that iconic mountain that we saw in the 2017 film, which, fun fact, is a reference to Zelda's Dueling Peaks. So it's cool to see them back.
I did not know that. But what if that mountain was Kong's home? Just what if?
Then we see the big hairy guy, Kong, waking up from a little nap in the jungle, clearly disturbed by a shockwave from the Hollow Earth portal being activated. And we know what he's like when nature is disturbed on his island, so hopefully he doesn't go ape. We next see...
Oh God, but who could come through? Who was it? I have a feeling that might be Skull King. It's like, hey, I'm checking on you, boy. Not like that, but it's like, basically he's older than Kong, so he's basically a little boy. But with that hand plant on Skull Island, and Kong Skull Island, that's the same hand plant. That's Skull King. But this portal could be something else. Could be really something else. What I also want in this series to happen is to tell us how did they build that cage for Kong and made him. Basically, how did they get him into that cage?
The return of Anders home as Bill Randa, which I'm happy to see. After season 1, I was honestly stumped on how they could even do more with the character. So it's nice to see he's still relevant, because he was one of my favorites. And he's walking through a cavern and has discovered something that's become a bit of a MonsterVerse tradition: a cave painting, depicting a giant squid monster tormenting an indigenous tribe. This is likely the villain of season 2, kind of like how the Iron Dragon was in season 1. And we'll be seeing more of this later in the
which died. Died in like 2 minutes. I don't think it was 2 minutes. I think it was like a minute. Like, he stand no chance against Godzilla.
trailer. And here is Anna Sawai returning as Kate Randa, and not sure where she is, but it looks super futuristic, which makes me think it's probably connected to Apex somehow.
Apex. But what if that is Tokyo? Where they're building Mega Godzilla. Now it's rumored this does take place in 2017. But it's also rumored to be taking place between 2017 and like during the Monarch era, when it started, and 2021, aka 2024, and the MonsterVerse, because GVK took place in 2024, even though the movie came out in 2021. The MonsterVerse will technically end in 2027 as of right now. It could be in 2029, 2030, in Supernova. So it's like the MCU. It's like kind of like the MCU. It's just kaijus. With timeline. Like Godzilla 2014 took place 2014. Kong Skull Island, it took place on the, so I can't remember what year. I know it was somewhere between the 1960s or 70s. Somewhere around there. Godzilla King of the Monsters took place 2019. That movie came out in 2019. GVK, Godzilla vs. Kong, came out in 2021, took place in 2024. Godzilla X Kong the New Empire came out 2024, took place 2027. Supernova comes out 2027, takes place probably 2030, 2021, or 2029. We don't know yet. We will find out very, very soon. But I bet you this is like one of the scenes where they are finding, we're finding or building the sign for Monarch. Not Monarch, for Mega Godzilla. And hopefully we get King of the Monsters, a couple of scenes in this, where Kong's reacting to King Ghidorah's sign.
And next up we have an amazing shot, because we see Godzilla roaring as he invades a city, with the shot being from the perspective of a terrified civilian, helplessly watching the Titan demolish their home. This genuinely might be one of my favorite shots in the MonsterVerse.
On God, I need more like this. You're on the ground and you look up and you see a Godzilla coming up. That's the most terrifying shit. I ain't gonna cap with y'all. I need more of this.
This is how you shoot Godzilla, from an oppressive, terrifying perspective that makes him feel big, mean, and intimidating. The CGI is also just amazing, a huge step up from season 1, which already had great visual effects for a TV show. I do have a feeling that this is a nightmare sequence though, because Godzilla never invaded Japan, at least in the current lore. So it's either a nightmare or
it has improved. Season 1, it was good. But season 2, it was chef's kiss. It just looks like 10 out of 10 better.
a massive retcon. Kate still struggles with PTSD, so this is likely just a visualization of that trauma. Next up
So the Japan part and all that, she could have she does have PTSD, but Godzilla could have attack her when she's having a nightmare. Or attack Japan, and she's having a nightmare about it. What is that scene? it's not male. Mm,
We see Keiko, played by Mari Yamamoto, who was one of the core emotional arcs of Season 1, so I'm excited to see her return, and hopefully reunite with Lee Shaw. She seems to be on a boat sailing through a storm, so she may be leaving or entering Skull Island, which of course is surrounded by a massive perpetual storm.
exactly. But I think I gotta rewatch Season 1. I think she's the one that created Monarch. So yeah.
Now next up we have something big. Literally, a Titan. Now this is super interesting because it has split pupils. Now, as an ocean-based monster, these split pupils may serve a few purposes. In some fish, split pupils help them see in the air and water simultaneously, which can help in defense. Or they can help with seeing different spectrums of light, which may help with a Hollow Earth adapted creature to see portal access points.
I didn't know that. So we won about certain fish, certain species, not that school, in my school. But we didn't want like two-eye pimples, now that, which they need to change that, like, no cap. I don't know if they do it now, but when I was in school, they did not teach us that. They teach us like certain parts of fish and all that. Certain like certain fish, certain creatures, certain animals, certain predators, basically on that.
But continuing this clip, doesn't this look a lot like Godzilla? Like, that's 90% a Godzilla head, with some extra mutations in there. Jacob and I first thought, Space Godzilla? Not that we thought it was Space Godzilla, but it just looked weirdly close. But when you see the full body, it's something very different. We'll return to this later in the breakdown. But next we see what looks to be Kate Randa approaching a Japanese temple of some kind. Perhaps this is where she's given the vision of Godzilla destroying a Japanese city? Hard to say right now because the shot gives us literally nothing. Maybe it's connected to Mothra, who knows? Next up we see that shockwave from Apex trying to activate the Hollow Earth portal, potentially as a way to try and escape Skull Island by exiting at another part of the planet's surface, because clearly they're left stranded after the big guy rampaged through their HQ. Next we see Keiko, Tim, Hiroshi, and who I think is Mei, reacting to some disturbance, which I think is a successfully activated Hollow Earth portal since it's blowing all the dirt around them. Though this will no doubt piss the big hairy guy off, since this will almost certainly attract another Titan to the island. Could also just be some helicopters since we actually see them later in the trailer. In the next shot, we see Lee Shaw reacting to something massive, what seems to be a Titan breaking out of a mountain. We see the tentacles flying into the air as it frees itself and likely heads straight towards the surface to hunt. I have a feeling that Lee Shaw did this deliberately in order to activate a Hollow Earth portal, because remember, they could only be activated through a Titan traveling through them, which means he could get help and return to the surface world safely. But of course, awakening any Titan comes with massive repercussions. Will Kong or Godzilla be able to stop this thing? Who knows? What do you think is happening here? Let us know in the comment section down below. Next up,
I don't know, but I think this is will Godzilla fights it, but damages a little. But I don't know. I think with this being more focused on Kong, I think this is going to be the crucial that fights Kong in Skull Island 1.
We see this gorgeous shot of the perpetual storm of Skull Island that's super reminiscent of the 2017 film, as the crew head straight towards the island. Though this looks like they're entering Skull Island, and since the show starts off with them already on the island, I'm curious why these choppers would be returning. Unless this is evac, maybe? Next we see Lee and Keiko in some sort of village. This is likely connected to the earlier shot where we see Bill looking at that cave painting, providing some context to this ancient creature and its potential rivalry with the Alpha Titans. But we also get another look.
What if this mysterious Titan that lives in the water and on the, like, as you said, it's like kind of like surface. Obviously not living in surface, but his pimples like this two There's two of them, one for the surface and for the water. Excuse me. But what if this Titan is like somewhat controls the sea, kinda like it can control the sea in the heart of Earth, but when she comes to the surface, he or she comes to the surface, it tried to do the same thing. Godzilla came along, so did Kong. Now, how we that we want to see a Kong and Godzilla team up in this, but I think we will see a first meeting between Kong and Godzilla the first time ever.
At those small crustacean mutos that we got a little glimpse of in that first trailer, and they look to swarm the city, and if my theories are correct, they are the babies of this monster, and here we're actually witnessing Mummy waking up. Next we see this horrifying shot because we see this huge underwater titan approaching this little speck in the distance, which is actually an entire boat.
Yeah.
Piloted.
I ain't gonna cap it. I thought that was Godzilla. Not gonna cap it, y'all.
By none other than Lee Shaw. Because if you remember from that first trailer, we see him on a boat reacting in terror before the ship is crushed and submerged by the tentacle monster. So this may be connected to that scene. And the monster action doesn't end there, because next up we see absolute chaos as Kong's foot comes down and people sprint in all directions. The leads look up to see Kong roar as lightning flashes behind him, and he throws a car-sized hunk of concrete which crashes down and blows up. This shot looks awesome and seems to be how the series will start up, following through with the ending of Season 1, where an annoyed Kong approaches the Apex base after they activated a Hollow Earth portal. Once again, the VFX looks like a step up from Season 1. Kong just looks great here. Next up we see Lee Shaw, who says, "What's next?" speaking to someone, and I can't quite tell who it is, but I think it's Hiroshi based on the hair color and length. This looks to be the same facility that we saw Kate in earlier, so I can only assume he makes it successfully to the facility, whether it's Apex, Monarch, or something else. I can only assume he's referring to his plan of wiping out the Titans, a motivation which I doubt has changed after more time in the Axis Mundi. Next up we get this incredible shot, or horrifying if you have thalassophobia. We see this giant Titan swimming past the world's largest real-life creature, the blue whale, just to really emphasize how different in scale these monsters are.
When this shot happened, I can't remember the name of it right here, but I thought it was this. Not gonna cap it, y'all. The way how it is and all that, it looked like that. But yeah.
And while it starts off looking like it could be a reptilian titan, the back half is just tentacles. This is no doubt the titan from the cave paintings that Lee awoke in the Axis Mundi. I find it interesting that this creature appears to deliberately imitate Godzilla's silhouette. Perhaps it uses its tentacles to reshape itself into something recognizably Godzilla-like, intimidating other titans who mistake it for him at a distance. That idea opens up something bigger. If even deep-sea titans are evolving to resemble the most powerful creature on the planet, then it stands to reason that a spaceborne monster might do the same. This could subtly be planting the idea of Space Godzilla as a shapeshifter.
Build a website you love.
As I said,
with Wix.
We're gonna walk it.
A being that adopts Godzilla's form because it represents the ultimate threat. In that sense, the series might be seeding a broader concept, monsters adapting by literally becoming Godzilla, which we might end up seeing come full circle in Godzilla x Kong Supernova. I've actually just been informed that the name of this, at least right now, is Titan X. Now, I don't know about you, but it feels like they're keeping its name a mystery because it'll come with some big reveal. They usually reserve this naming convention for things of extraterrestrial origin, like Monster X or, say, Monster Zero. So,
I don't know why that part so. But yeah, they're definitely keeping this secret for sure.
Could this be an ancient bioweapon created by aliens to try and mutate into Godzilla? The double pupils do emphasize a kind of failed mutation, and the blue is typically reserved for Godzilla. Could it hint at a certain future monster that ends up successfully replicating into Godzilla? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Either way, I was just...
What if this is like the failed attempt? Like, so say this is like an alien creature, and this is like the failed attempt of Space Godzilla. This is a new one.
happy this isn't some generic squid and offers something visually unique. Cut to title card. Monarch Legacy of Monsters, coming February 27th.
Yeah,
About a month and a half away, so not long to wait. The trailer was awesome and looks to be a step up from Season 1 in many ways. The CGI looks lifelike, the new monsters look incredible, and will likely be a threat to both Godzilla and Kong. My biggest worry going into Season 2 was we wouldn't get to see much Kurt or Wyatt Russell as Lee Shaw, since his younger arc seemed pretty much closed off, and older Lee was trapped in the Axis Mundi. But I'm glad to see we'll be getting much more of him, as well as the rest of the roster that were easily the highlight of the human cast for Legacy of Monsters. There is a chance that these trailers are carefully avoiding showing the actual drama of the show, which might annoy some people when it inevitably shows up in the episodes, but overall this looks to grow the franchise in cool new ways, potentially setting up the future of the film series. And I love to see the return of the cave paintings, which are a classic Monsterverse trope at this point. February 27th can't come soon enough, and you know we'll be here to report on it all. So if you want a whole video speculating on this new Titan, let us know in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe and stomp the notification button to become a resident of Dangerville today. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.